Well, hello, folks. So, yeah, finally it happened. So, well, I say finally. It took like a day of attempts, but yeah, Ultimate Zin. So, doing the usual post-commentary format here. So, I'm gonna try to show off a couple tricks here because it turns out there's actually quite a few tricks you can do in this fight. So, first of all, if you go right here, this area right here, right off the start of the fight, I would say it's like 50%, give or take. She has two spots that she'll actually end up going to right away. So one of them is right here, about halfway between this whole little, what is it, like a weird hexagon-looking thing? And then you got another one that's over here. She sometimes gets stuck on the wall and drops straight down. Sometimes she'll do like here and then here, like right at the same time. So, like basically right there where I was stopping to aim for a second, that's roughly where that would end up being. But obviously she moves around like an absolute crazy person. So yeah, that's not exactly something you're always going to be able to rely upon. Now, one thing I will show real quick here is, so her whole pattern, right? I'm going to pause it right here to show, she does this like kind of circly loop thing, right? Every time that she comes down though, she has like 5 different ways she can go. She'll either like just stay right there, she'll end up going this way, end up going that way, end up skating this way, or end up skating that way. So the idea is just more or less trying to well, get some vague idea of where she might go and then just try to kind of reflex it out. But I did find a little bit of a trick to it. So there's, as far as I know of, there's 2 ways that seem to be ideal for doing this. The first one is what Superfleet was doing in hers, wherein you basically wait for approximately there-ish. Like, if you go around here and aim for about this height, her way was aiming kind of higher, breaking the legs, like kind of just going left and right, doing this until the legs are broken, and then just doing circles while facing this. That tends to make her go above this. Now, if you get the timing exactly right, you can get it that way. The way that I preferred here is just kind of the way that I've been doing the rest of the run, really, which is just you wait for her to come down, and then right around where she's about to stop, you can kind of do like a quick little juke to the right, and then usually nail her right, just like kind of diagonally. So kind of like what I did right there. I think, is this getting all janky again? It's all moving up and down nonsense. Well, anyway. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it isn't. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the way that I found easiest to do this. I would say attempt-wise, it took maybe 30 to 40 somewhere, give or take. Not really sure how many I did last night, but I was basically waiting for the kiddo to wake up to eat. So I'm like, screw it. I'll just go ahead and do a few practice runs. And actually, one of these practice runs this morning was just sitting on the phone doing some calls, and like I'll just leave it running, see if it happens, and sure enough, it did. Now, actually, let me go back one moment here. Just look at that. Let's see if it's back far enough. So right there, you can see where that just barely skated by her there. Let's see if we can get to that exact spot. So that just starts going, you can see it just like, it just goes past the arm. So this is something that I was talking about in terms of the hitbox being really janky for the PSP version. Because it seems like large rockets in particular do not have the hitbox that they claim to. So for example, like right there, it just pretty much seemed to fly straight through her elbow. When comparing with the PS2 version, and I did actually go and break out the old PS2 to go and test this out, the hitboxes are different. So presumably, presumably that's one of those things. But the easiest way to check it, TBM actually did a video using this almost exact AC just a little bit ago, and you could see they all basically just had a hitbox that was kind of the rough general square of an AC profile. And in this one, it seems like for the PSP remake, it's either they intentionally switched over to a sort of almost Dark Souls-esque, really specific type of box if you want to be really, kind about it, or more realistically, they probably just didn't exactly get all the hitboxes right. So, mileage varies, it's up to you. But either way, so So there's that. But, yeah, she was a bit of a challenge, obviously. I was actually panicking a little bit at the end here, because like, oh man, I need one more shot, but then all the larges ran out. Like, trying to be all careful and starting to get really low on AP here, and then finally that last little curve shot gets her right in the chest, and it's like, yes! That is that. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can go do the arena if that's requested. Probably gonna wait a little bit because I'm a little bit LR'd out right now. Actually, was a little bit salty a few days ago. Had a little bit of a Butters moment where I was just sitting there, you know, was all happy, had just gotten up to Ultimate Zin here, and then I'm looking at the recommended, or not the recommended stuff, the videos tab over on the Discord, and it's like, hey, Superfleet did it. Like, she did the Ultimate Zen fight first on that exact same day. I was like, dang it. Why? She's always done everything first. It was so close to doing it first, but oh well, what can you do? She's freaking done everything at this point. I think it's safe to say, like, Superfleet is basically the Simpsons of Armored Core. Just like, if there's a challenge run, she's probably done it already. But yeah, so, fun challenge. Would recommend it if you really like to, you know, get a feel of the physicality of the game and all that. It apparently seems to carry over pretty well to the other games too. So now we just kind of stare off into the sunset. I guess we can possibly, you know, turn off the music, but it's too amazing. I couldn't think of any more fitting, you know, end boss theme for this. It seemed perfect. Also, can't even tell you how long I ended up sitting on this end screen before finally turning it off. I always forget that you can actually just, well, you kind of have to turn this bit off. They give you a nice little staring off into the sunset moment. You know, personally, I'd be kind of worried standing in this thing, like, well, the legs are barely holding together, so maybe we should go get it in the garage, maybe get it a little bit fixed up, something like that. Might be a little bit of an idea. But yeah, such is life. So, any dang ways, yeah, it's done. So, if there's a request, I'll do the entire arena. If not, I can end the run here. I don't know what the interest is and all that sort of thing. It feels like the only actual challenging fight out of that thing would be, would have been, what's it? Probably Damon. But it's basically going to boil down to roughly the same thing here, because he has about the same strategy. So, alright. That'll be that. Have an awesome one.